Hello, Redemption Church family. I cannot tell you how much I wish we were all in the same room together. But I also know at the same time that there is purpose in what God is doing in this season. And so I want to trust Him because I believe that tonight what's going to happen in your home is needed and necessary for you and everybody who is there with you. Whether you're alone or your family's there or you have few people gathering with you, I would pray that you would fellowship with Jesus in his suffering. The world is suffering right now. All across the globe, there is suffering and pain and disillusionment. And we're kind of not accustomed to that, especially in the West. We love to kind of move on from pain. But tonight at the Good Friday service, we're actually invited into fellowshipping with Jesus in his suffering and remembering his death and remembering the work that he accomplished for you, for me, for us, all those who are gathering around this together tonight to remember what Christ has done. This work, without it, we don't have life, we don't have hope. And so I'm inviting you to join me and our family and all the families at Redemption Alhambra to walk through this service tonight, not just as watching the band on stage and other people read, but tonight that you would become the readers, that you would be participants in the whole service. So it goes now into your home. I would encourage you to make sure your home is set in a way that is allowing you to remember it. We're encouraging you, turn the lights off and maybe have candles in the living room there, or have everybody have their Bibles or those printed materials so that different ones can read, or maybe the same one can read. And that when it goes through the service tonight, it will hit points after songs where a slide will come up and turn over to you to do these readings. And that someone would read out loud and blow the candle out. And you'll see it progressively get darker and darker. And that what that would cause us to do, not only in word, but in the visuals and the feeling of the room, we would start to see what Christ has done and the suffering that he went through and the agony and the pain that he went through for us. I want to direct us to this sense of, if we feel awkward or if we feel shock, if we feel weight and sadness, that's how we should feel. And some of us just want to run from those kinds of feelings. But right now, it's kind of hard, even in our world, to run from those kinds of feelings, to numb it or to walk away. I'm actually inviting you in to fellowshipping with him in that. Direct your hearts and set your minds upon the cross and the impact that it has had on our lives. It is because of that work that we can even gather together tonight. It is because of that work that we can even be in relationship with God. And so as you're sitting in your homes, what we're praying for is that your home would become a sacred space, and that each one of you would become participants in remembering the Lord's death, in partaking of communion, in reading the scriptures, in listening to music. And then at the end, as the last poem is read by Pastor Wayne and the last candle is blown out, I pray you just sit in silence for a little bit. Before you get up, before you walk away, before you go to the next thing, just thinking upon Jesus, his suffering, his pain, his agony. Family, I love you dearly. And in this time, I'm inviting you to set your hearts, your minds, your emotions, your thoughts, every part of you upon the work of Jesus that he has accomplished, that our lives would be transformed by the remembrance of his mercy. So the band will start. You'll move into a reading and follow the prompts on the screens, but be invited to participate in this Good Friday fellowship together.
my soul, oh my Jesus, Judas sold you for 30. I'd have done it for less. Oh my soul, oh my Savior, Peter denied you 3 times. I have denied you more. As the nails went in, I was standing right there as you breathed your last. I shook my head and I cried, oh my God, what have we done? We have destroyed your son. Oh my God, what have we done? We have destroyed your son. Oh my soul, oh my Jesus, Judas sold you for 30. I'd have done it for less. Oh my soul, oh my Savior, Peter denied you 3 times. I've denied you more. And the blood ran down. I was standing right there, and the water poured out. I shook my head and I cried, oh my God, what have we done? We have destroyed your son. Oh my God, what have we done? We have destroyed your son. Oh my God, what have we done? We have destroyed your son. Oh my God, what have we done? We have destroyed your son. Oh my God, what have we done? We have destroyed your son. Oh my God, what have we done? We have destroyed your son. Oh my God, what have we done? We have destroyed your son. Oh my God, what have we done? We have destroyed your son. stains, and sinners plunged beneath that flood lose all their guilty stains. The dying thief rejoiced to see that fountain in his day, and there have I the while as he washed all my sins away, washed all my sins away, washed all my sins away. And there have I the while as he washed all my sins away. Ever since by faith I saw the stream that flowing would supply, redeeming love has been my theme and shall be till I die, and shall be till I die, and shall be till I die. Redeeming love has been my theme and shall be till I die. 2, 3, 4. How deep the Father's love for us, how vast beyond all measure, that He should give His only Son and make a wretch His treasure. How great the pain of searing loss, the Father turned His face away, as wounds which mar the chosen one bring many sons to glory. Behold the man upon the cross, my sin upon His shoulder. Ashamed I hear my mocking voice call out among the scoffers. It was my sin that held Him there until it was accomplished. His dying breath has brought me life. I know that it is finished. ourselves from our only help. One righteous man, God's perfect plan to pay for our guilt, tear down what we've built. Seeing his face, nothing would catch you at all. The world that he loved despised him, this man of sorrows. First he's betrayed, then taken away. His friends turn their backs and hang by their necks. Silent he goes as one who knows, despite any plea, the verdict will be guilty as charged. Now beat him till no one can tell who he once was, then hang up his body with nails. Surely up there our sorrow he bears. See how he shakes, life slowly escapes. The king is crushed, collapsing his lungs. They're showering the nations in blood. Yet this is the way his father has chosen to pay. One righteous man has many more righteous men made. and pray, find in me things all in all. Died my soul to save and melt my heart of stone. Jesus paid it all to him I owe. Sin had left a crimson stain, he washed it white as snow. And when before the throne I stand in him complete, I will lay my trophies down, lay them down at Jesus' feet. Jesus paid it all to him I owe. Jesus paid it all to him I owe. Sin had left a crimson stain, he washed it white as snow. Oh, praise the one who paid my debt. Who rose this life up from the dead. Oh, praise the one who paid my debt. Who rose this life up from the dead. Oh, praise the one who paid my debt. Who rose this
A plan that would span so deep, so masterful, so comprehensive that everything that would ever exist would be involved in it. Involved so intricately, yet without even knowing the depths of its involvement. One utilizing every second that ever ticked. Conceived before the moment that he created light to beam through the darkness over the face of the deep that covered that formless void of earth. One that would run its course until every last second was utterly used up. A plan for the fullness of time. And the steps that he will go through to set this plan in motion. I mean, plans on top of plans, you see. He created heaven and earth united as one in himself. And knowing that the rebellion of his prized creation, man, would shatter this reality and drag one violently out of this unison, he stands in wait with phase 2 of his supreme plan of creation. Anticipating the inevitable fall, he initiates redemption to bring about restoration. Uniting all things in heaven and earth back into himself. But this plan would take much longer than creation itself to execute. The preparation, the patience. See, he would enter right smack dab into the center of the brokenness. Like the glue used to mend two pieces of one, separated from a violent fall by bonding each to itself. The bonding agent. So he steps in with one hand already clenching heaven, stretching wide the other to clench earth and draw them both back together within himself. The bonding agent. No wonder it says that he's holding all things together. He's the glue seeking to apply himself to the brokenness. How this whole thing would look is absurd, appalling, disturbing, gut-wrenching, and yet incomprehensibly beautiful. Just watch him work. Watch him do what only he can do. Inspiring men of ancient to write about what the Ancient of Days would accomplish. Words make it sound easy. Well, what if the two objects that are broken are on the opposite sides of the track end? At the same time, partially on the track end. The only way to mend them is from on the tracks end. There's an oncoming train. There's no stopping the train. Whatever stands in between the two objects has to also be able to take on the weight and burden of the broken pieces as its own, while withstanding the full impact of the train. Yeah, it's sort of like that. Just times infinity. Now, what if I told you the conductor of said train was the one who sent the bonding agent? And as a matter of fact, him and the bonding agent are one, and that the very power of this bonding agent to withstand the coming wrath of the collision, all while uniting the pieces of every single thing that was broken, though distinct in and of himself, is simultaneously one with the conductor and the bonding agent. Now, what if I told you that these 3-in-1 personalities represented God? And the things that are broken are me and you and our rebellious relationship with God, and that this whole example falls drastically short, paling in comparison to the true magnitude and gravity of the situation. You see, all of creation has been suffering from the side effects of this one broken relationship. The tracks They represent the cross, the point of collision, where the wrath of God is absorbed for all those bonded to the bonding agent. He's standing on the tracks, stretching out his holy arms to his enemies and giving them the ability to respond. Well, the train collides, and this moment is etched into eternity and stretched throughout time. Because we, the broken, we're standing on the tracks of our own will, our own autonomy, having fallen in our own foolishness, now deserving every bit of the impact. But Christ has taken the impact in our stead, exchanging his life for ours, for there was no stopping the train. Though the wrath of the collision was absorbed, yet still, someone had to die. For this is the purpose that the train was set on its course, ever since the moment that we denied the conductor, our great God, turning a deaf ear in our trespasses against him, and his warnings of what our actions apart from him were set in motion upon ourselves. But right there at the cross, that's where he does it. The point of collision, that's where he accomplishes the task, where he takes on our sin as his own, where he puts an end to our feeble attempts to cover our shame and becomes our covering, where he breaks the bonds of sin that has enslaved us and frees us to love genuinely through him, by demonstrating true love. As he hangs there on the cross, he feels every drop of blood leaving his scorched body. His lungs start to fill with fluid, abandoned by his friends, mocked by the ones he came to save, the same ones for whom he would say, "Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do." Thieves, they hung between two insults from the left and yet worship from the right. Today you will dine with me in paradise. The guilty ones invite from the king. Everything that exists feels the sting of his pain. Short of breath he strains. Woman, behold your son. Wrung by the nails of those conspiring with one another, he turns to the disciple he loves and says, "Behold, your mother." His mother. Sin that he bears on our behalf causes him to feel the absence of the Father that we should feel in our rebellion against him. Why have you forsaken me? This is the first time that he's experienced what it feels like to be alone. And it hurts. Blood vessels burst. The groans of the earth mimic the groans of our King as he cries, "I thirst." No one takes his life from him. He's laying it down of his own accord. He's doing it for the sake of men, for the sake of them that he will not lose. His eyes are getting heavy. He's lost track of how many times he's blacked out. I feel it coming. It's that time. I completed the task. I've bonded my love back into me. It'll take the fullness of time for this bond to set, but the work is done. It is finished.